Hi guys, so today is a posing workshop for two bros doing the NPC and IFBB posing. So I'm going to be going through the mandatory poses, front pose, back pose, taking through the eye walks, and I'll give you a little bit of a snippet to what my workshops are like. This is the first one I've done, so I am a little bit nervous and excited at the same time. I'm just hoping everything runs smoothly, but I know what I'm like, I'll do something.
I thought that we'd go through a little bit of a chat around show day, what to expect on show day, how the running of the show will actually look, just to obviously put your mind at ease. You can ask Jade or myself any questions when it comes to it.
It's a my walk.
Yeah, so it's not what you used to walk from the back and then walk to the front. Now they literally just want you to walk from the side to the front of the stage. So I'll show you. You'd walk to the front of the stage, you'd hit your front shot, you'd then transition into your back shot. You'd then transition back into your front shot. From there you'd say thank you and walk off.
So we get into some posing. I think what we should do is probably have Jade demonstrate what a front pose should look like. I'll give some little pointers, and then if we get you to do it, we can move you around as well.
People half sit into the hips. So if you watch my glutes, this is sitting into your hip and this is not. You will feel your hip move when you sit into it enough. From here you will start to see that in off season you will have rolls here, but you need to lift your chest up and keep it up nice and tall. From here I always put my flat of my fingers onto my waist, so the smallest part to make my waist look smaller. Flare my lat out but not too much, and then just relax the arm down at the bottom.
That's really nice. Try to relax it a little bit more there, and then with your hands, rather than being like think about it through the paper, because that's what you're doing. Just like it. Sunshine set. Try and open up that top line a little bit.
Straight line, so you just want to relax.
Not to the
Try and relax your top half and then flare this lat a little bit more.
If you close off the line there, it creates more shape.
You can get into this hip more. Now lift up nice and tall.
That's so much nicer. Just that in a little bit more.
See difference? I took my elbow in so that it keeps my shoulder flared and my lat flared, and then I just relax my wrist down. From here I'm imagining that I'm doing an IVL, so I would push my bum back, then lift up nice and tall with my chest. I'll cut an arch in my back and then flaring my lats out and relaxing my hands about here. What you want to do, you don't want to pinch back your shoulders, you just want to flare them out and then relax your arms down. To add anything?
You need to really think about tensing the adductors, tensing the glutes, sticking your glutes back and up, but making sure that that chest does not tip forward at all. Stick your bum back and up a little bit more. Don't squeeze your shoulder blades too close. Yeah, there you go, that's better. But then think about squeezing that much on your legs that these are going to pop a little bit more.
Now you're going to lift up nice and tall with your chest. Have you ever done a lat spread before? No? So what I find easy to do is imagining that my shoulders and turning my elbows out and doing like a lat pull movement but with my hands down. Pull out, wide there. Straighten these legs and push into my hands.
Bring those
push them back on. Flatten the foot here down. Nice and wide. Imagine you were doing it like, you know, like the adductor machine. Yeah. It'll just give that glute hamstring tie in a little bit more. Perfect, ladies. Relax. The transition into this one. So I come from here, my back leg comes down, and then as my back leg comes down, I drop my hand, and then connect my feet together and lift the hip up nice and tall. So where I'm twisting is I'm in the same position here as I'm in here. So my front chest is facing forward. I've twisted from my waist, not from my hips. Again, I always say hips head light, so hips are always facing the side, and I twist round to the side. You can then put your hand on if you want to. I still keep quite a small lat spread in my hand, in my arm, just to keep my lat out.
But you actually find that a lot of people start doing this when they're doing it. Yeah. You don't want to do that. You want to literally keep your ass so pushed back, almost like your back pose. It will hurt your back so much if you want to hit that pose properly. And you're there. And then you can obviously start to then turn to the back.
So from here, I'm transitioning into the side pose. And then I'm going to go into the glute shot. So what I do is I bring this front foot forward with my heel facing. Lift this back leg up and push in to my glute. So it's the same one as you would do your front shot. You would sit into your hip, put my hand on my leg. A lot of girls do, yeah, you were gonna do that.
Yeah.
A lot of girls do this and they show too much bum. You just want to be showing the height of the glute on the one side, and just you should just see the top bit of the other side.
A tiny bit of the back one, not a lot of it. That's a little bit too much there.
Yeah, just there. Yeah. So all I'm doing is I'm putting my hand on, and I'm very softly, not everyone has to do this, I very softly just push, just to show a little bit more delt and tricep. Keep that hip higher. You should feel it like you're doing a back press, you should feel it here. So as you're coming in from there, you never drop that hip, that's what I used to do a lot. So from here, imagine that you're being pulled up by a string and you're keeping it nice and tall.
So you like here, my hand
and then you say
on, it looks better than that.
Yeah.
Do I, when I do that, I just keep my hand like that whole time, I bring it down, put it back. Right.
You don't want to make it too floppy. Because if you go from there
Down
to that, and then back to that,
Yeah.
there's too much hand movement.
Yeah, just keep it there.
I would just keep it there. It's not less thing for you to think about.
in that pose, you're allowed to be a little bit more relaxed. So these legs can be a little bit more relaxed as well. You don't need to be. So it's very much a. Yeah. That's what you think in your head. When you do your pose, you can be like, oh, and then you can go.
Like you won't need to pose as hard as you are doing on stage.
Yeah.
Because you're already quite hard anyway, and you're there, so you don't really need to pose as hard.
Yeah.
I can't pose hard on stage, I've got to relax myself on stage. And then what I'm doing from here, I'm bringing this back foot back. All I'm doing is I'm making sure that my hip is lifted all the time. You never want to drop your glutes. If you drop your glutes, your bum will look saggy. So from here, to step back, I put all my weight onto this leg, and then I twist and get into my back shot. Flare my lats out straight away, squeeze my adductors, push my bum back, lift my chest up nice and tall. You can add in from here, you can then add in a hair flick, and then get in there. Yeah? And then from there it's literally a reverse to get back round to the front. Hip up nice and tall. So from here, you're literally doing a reverse back round. So I'm stepping back into this glute shot. I'm going back into my side transition and then stepping my front out to the back. Making sure if your feet is for a lot of people, go back to that. Turn forward, sitting into my glutes and then hitting that front shot. Yeah, I'll do that again.
Step back onto the side that she'd normally look at. She'd hit her glute shot again. Make sure that her face is looking at the judges. She would give a nice smile. I think putting your hand and pressing it onto your legs is really nice because it really does show off all of your rear delt. Again, something that is really big in the bikini class is your delts. You want good delts. Arms not so much because you want the delts to look big, so you don't really want a lot of arm. So you want to make sure that that delt is showing. What you're then going to do is this foot here, the back foot that's almost relaxed and facing towards the back, is you're going to swivel it round to face the side. So it's there, and you're going to put all of your weight on that leg, and then you're going to hit your transition pose, whether that be this one or this one, okay? Yeah? And then this foot here, you're going to step it back into your front pose. Okay? Is that clear, yeah?
Yeah.
Right, lovely stuff. Let's have a go. Right, okay, now let's go. So we're going to step back. So this foot here is going to face towards that side now, there. And we're just going to put all of our weight into there.
You three all pose the same way, like.
Now we're there, yeah. This foot here is back.
Do that. And then step into the shot, back foot, front back.
When they then ask you to do a 180 to the back or a pose from the back, the head judge will tell you that that's what you now need to do. Jade will then transition to the back, so she will go into a transition shot, she will go into her glute shot, and she will step into her back shot. They will then sometimes, just to confuse you even more, they will then sometimes ask you to watch the back and ask you to then do your back shot, 2 steps forwards and do your back shot. So that's what Jade's going to show now.
When you're doing this, make sure that you always keep your hips lifted. So never do, see a lot of girls just doing that and then your glutes are dropped and you've probably lost points by doing that.
Well, they drop and then sometimes they can go a bit wobbly. You don't want that. You don't want wobbly glutes on stage.
So if you keep, as you're stepping, as I step, doesn't matter which way you step because I walk with this left leg. So I step in with my left my hips are still lifted as if I am in my back shot, and then I would take 2-3 steps forward. So I'd walk, keeping my hip lifted, and then I would step into that back shot.
So then they will ask you to transition to the front. So Jade will do a glute pose, a transition pose, and then into her front pose.
Oh.
Don't worry about it. Sometimes they'll ask you to walk to the front, sometimes they'll not, just make sure that you're listening. Just need to remember in your head is front, transition, glute, back, back, glute, transition, front. And that's literally all you need to remember. If there's like one thing to just solidify in your mind, that's what you need to do. Ignore what anybody else is doing, ignore how long they're taking, ignore how quick they're going, ignore what Mr. So-and-so is telling someone at the side of the stage to do, because everybody's super hard on show day. Just remember, focusing on the head judge, big smile, always looking at that judge. Nobody else, just smile at the judges, and then just focus on doing all of those 4 things front to back.
When you're on the side of the stage, and a lot of people forget this, there'll be like 4 or 5 judges normally at the top. Always focus your pose to the head judge. So if you are, for example, standing here, don't face there towards the audience, face the judges, because they're the ones that are judging you, the audience is judging you. So as much as you might want to say, hi Mum, yeah, face the judges and always do that. They'll put you in like diagonal lines normally on each side of the stage, but just as long as your body and your pose is facing towards the judges, they'll mark you correctly. Because for example, Megan's a judge and I'm posing here, all they're going to see is the widest part of my waist, and they're not going to see my glutes at all because it's disappeared. Chest up, Maxine. Lovely. Spin back round for me. Perfect. That is the head judge. I'm going to walk you on as they would walk you on. So I'm going to bring you on in groups of 1, 2, 3, 4, in 4s. I'll bring you on in 4s, and then we're going to stand to the front of the stage and go through the full thing. Come onto the stage. You want to walk straight to the front. When you walk in, see Rachel's not letting her glutes drop at all. She's keeping up nice and tall and gaining the confidence. She's going through her whole routine all the way around. Perfect. When she's done, you do a little hand flip at the back. And she'll walk off to the side. To say thank you, if nobody's ever done it before, I pose this way. When I finish my poses, I thank you, kick, and I have to walk this side because I pose on the other side. And then you would literally just line up in 4s along this line. Usually if you're on the first call out, you're in the top 5, top 6, how many other girls are in the top call out. You kind of know because they will keep moving people into the centre or moving people out of the centre if you've never done a show before. You will need to keep smiling and then keep that energy going all that time that you're on that stage. Don't let that energy drop, don't let that sass drop. You've prepped for forever to be able to do a show. Make sure that the time on stage is worth it. So if you 4 for me, stand in that line and we'll do an actual run through. Please ladies, take 3 steps to the back. Back round to the front ladies, listen to what I say. Then take 3 steps to the front. From this, they will then move you into different sections from what they think is top. So we're all going to go together, all walk in on the front, all on the front, all just do a big long line up to here for me. Ready? Off we go. Look where the front judge is the bag. 180, keep it back. The more you practice, the more fluent it will be in your transitions. Make sure you are holding your front shot and you're used to sitting into that hip, keeping that chest up. All the points that I've talked through today, make sure that you keep going through them. Once you've held them and you can hold your front and back shot for at least a minute, and I'm not joking when I say a minute, then practice with your transitions, making them a little bit quicker, but making them fluid. I don't mind you getting my number and sending me videos to check up on your progress. I don't mind at all. If you are wanting just a one-to-one close to the show, I obviously do one-to-one. It's not in here, but it's at my studio in Wakefield, or I can do online. Happy?
Yeah, thank you.
Good, thank you guys.
You've done really well.